When I look around at all the entrepreneurs who are grinding it out, spending 70 to 80 hours per week growing their business, you have to ask yourself the question, at what cost? Hi, my name's Tim Uchuk, and in this podcast, we're going to be exploring the tools, tactics, and strategies for crushing it and scaling your business without making the ultimate sacrifice of your time and freedom. Hey, what's up, guys? Tim Uchuk here, and I wanted to hop on here real quick. I've got a pocket of time. I'm in my new upgraded office, by the way. I just moved things around and got things reorganized yesterday. So I call it an environment upgrade. And we are impacted. You probably realize this. If you've ever organized your garage, it has a crazy impact on your energy. And if you haven't done it in a while, I highly recommend going to your office and just doing kind of an audit, almost like a spring cleaning for your office, moving things around, getting things organized so that you're able to focus. There's not distraction, clutter all over the place. And the more you can make your environment, your office environment where you work, inspiring, the better work you're going to do, the better decisions you're going to make. All the things downstream are going to improve. So, coming to you here today from an awesome upgraded environment in my office. And I just want to hop on. This is going to be a fairly short one, but I want to share an exercise with you, which is inspired from a movie, which often gets negative connotations. But if you look at it through the lens that I want to share with you today, you can actually pull some really positive insights from it. And so the movie I'm going to talk to you about in terms of the analogy is Groundhog Day with Bill Murray. And usually it's used as a analogy for when days are boring, they're repetitive. Every day is a carbon copy of the previous. It's actually an analogy that's often used for running your business, where every day is like Groundhog Day and you're not moving forward. However, if you look at what really happens in the movie Groundhog Day, he actually follows continuous improvement every single day, where he perfects. He actually perfects the average day. So, we've talked in previous episodes about the scientific method. We use it all the time to pivot and make our tomorrows better than our todays. And it follows the acronym Plan, Do, Check, Adjust, PDCA. You plan and then you execute, that's the do. And then once you've finished the execution, you check and adjust your results. And then you pivot and make adjustments accordingly. So, for those who haven't seen the movie, Bill Murray, who is a weather station reporter, he visits a town to see if the groundhog is going to see his shadow. And something happens, and he ends up replaying the same day over and over and over and over again. So, when he wakes up in the morning, the alarm clock goes off. It's the same song playing on the radio, and everything kind of plays out the same way. However, Bill uses it as an opportunity. He finally realizes, I'm gonna perfect this day. I'm gonna perfect this average day, and all the things that are within my scope of control, I'm going to improve a little bit. I'm going to iterate every single day. And that actually follows the scientific method that we've talked about in previous episodes, which follows PDCA is the acronym, right? Plan, do, check, adjust. So you plan what you're going to do, you do it, you execute, and then you stop and you look back what worked, what didn't, throw out what didn't work, and keep doing what did work. So when it comes to your projects, your processes in your business, PDCA is the framework that you guys can use to continuously get a little bit better every day. And so that's exactly what Bill Murray did in this movie. And if you remember, by the end of it, he has like the best average day. And so that's what I want to talk to you about in this episode, is to look at and think about your average day. And I want you to visualize your perfect average day and realizing it's never going to be perfect. But think about an average day choreographed, where you wake up in the morning. What does it look like? What's the first thing that you do when your feet hit the ground? Where do you go? Do you make coffee? Do you have a sense for what you're going to do for the day, or do you have to open up your computer and are you greeted with hundreds of tabs? So if you could repeat this over and over and over again, what would you do differently to make it the perfect average day? So, in other words, if you wake up in the morning, when your feet hit the ground, you should probably have a plan for the day already in place, which means that yesterday you probably should have had that plan created. So, you should have planned your tomorrow today. So, how would that play out for you? As soon as your feet hit the ground in the morning, what would your perfect average day look like? So, my perfect average day looks like this. I wake up first thing in the morning. I try to start with gratitude. I try to actually bookend my days with gratitude, thinking about at least three things that I'm grateful for. My feet hit the ground. I walk downstairs. I make my favorite coffee. I go downstairs. I go to my computer. And then this is my like focus time. And I try to imagine if I only had 1 to 2 hours in the day to get work done, what would that look like? And so for me, it's looking at my schedule for the day. It's looking at my priorities for the day, which I've already set yesterday. That's one of the last things I do. I look at the reporting. So I look at numbers to see if there are any trends that are standing out in terms of things that need to be fixed. So looking at the financial reporting, the marketing, the sales, the operations. So we've got a dashboard. Just look at how things went. I look at what anybody needs from me, any team members, so that I am not getting in the way. I'm not a roadblock. So I have a list of items that I do first thing just to make sure that things are moving forward. And then I have the time blocked. So I put on focus music and I clear all the distractions, both physical and digital, close all the tabs. And then I execute on the 1 to 3 main things, and I follow that constraint. If the day got taken away from me and I only had 1 to 2 hours, what would that look like? What would I work on? And those are the things I do. So I block my calendar and I get those things done. And then after that, I'll typically give myself micro rewards throughout the day for reinforcing the good habits of focus. So I'll get my second coffee, usually make a cappuccino after that as a reward for myself. And then I get into the follow ups. So internal follow ups, external follow ups. Internal follow ups are things that my team needs from me. External follow ups are anybody outside of the organization that needs something from me. And from the work perspective, that's pretty much my perfect average day. And then the remaining time, if I have any meetings, we do the meetings. Otherwise, I'll try to block 1 or 2 more hours, depending on the day, to just keep executing on the main high value tasks and delegating anything that is not high value, getting it off my plate and setting them up for success. Other than that, I try to move throughout the day. Usually, at least every hour, I'll try to get up and move. I will set aside time for stretching, and I have a target each week for amount of time I spend doing cardio. And so my cardio target is actually it's not time, it's energy or output. So I measure kilojoules on my bike. I've got a Peloton, and my target is 200 to 300 kilojoules on my bike 4 to 5 times per week. So that's the target, and I try to get time in for that. If I don't have a lot of time, I will do a 7 minute workout. So I've got an app called 7 Minute Workout, and that's basically it. And at the end of the day, my perfect average day, I have an alert in my calendar which tells me to unplug. So I have to be this intentional. I literally have an alert, a reminder that says unplug. So I turn off my phone. I put it in a drawer on the other side of the house so I won't be tempted. So turn off the phone and put it away so that I can pay attention and spend time. Notice the currency references, pay attention, spend time with my family. So I want to be present. If I have my phone, it's way too tempting for me to stay in work mode. So I literally power off. It's a reminder in my calendar and I put my phone away so I'm not even tempted. And that allows me to just kind of recalibrate for the day and really be present, which is one of the top values for me is being present with my family and those who I love. And then I make dinner and then more time with family, and then it's time with my wife in the evenings. So that is my perfect average day. I've worked on it over several months, several years of honing it. It doesn't always go perfectly, but if I could choreograph it that way, that's what the process looks like. So, as a takeaway for you, just think through what your perfect average day might look like chronologically throughout the day. So, first things in the morning, what are the actions that you should take to ensure that your average day runs smoothly? Again, for me, I want to be clear on the priorities. I want to know that my priorities are anchored to my goals. So I'm working on the right things. I want to know that the business is healthy. So that's why we look at reporting each day. I want to make sure that I'm not a roadblock for my team. So that's the follow ups to make sure that I'm getting back to them in the areas that need to be responded to. I'm delegating all the things that are low value. So I'm intentional about that. And that's part of my process. And then there's nothing left other than to execute. So that is setting up your environment in such a way, so digital and physical, that you're able to stay focused, that you're able to not get distracted, so that on your average day, you're able to just execute. And then just putting micro rewards for myself to create like a positive feedback loop throughout the day. And that's what it looks like. So I hope that's helpful, guys. But Groundhog Day, the movie, can actually be a positive source of inspiration if you use it as a lens for daily continuous improvement. So I hope that's helpful, guys. And again, highly recommend you set the target of upgrading your environment in your office in the next week. It is a huge future gift. So with that, guys, hope that helps, and we'll talk to you soon. Hey, Tim Uchuk here, and real quick, if you enjoyed this podcast episode, if you could take a couple quick seconds to give it a rating, it would be very much appreciated. And secondly, if you're looking for more tools and strategies on how you can crush it in life and business, just head on over to bookwithtim.com, where I've put together a free case study which shows you how to unlock unprecedented freedom today by using the 2 power levers. Just head on over to bookwithtim.com. Until next time, wishing you success and freedom in your business. Cheers.